Welcome back to About Our Children. For the next few minutes, we're going to focus on health. Poor nutrition and obesity have taken over the headlines recently, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But first, we're going to talk about something that gets very little attention, if any at all, and that's emotional health. Take a look now at 3 stories from 3 very different communities about how abuse, addiction, or depression can hurt an entire family and how dramatically things can turn around if they get help. Let's take a look.
My name is Scott Finkelstein. I'm 47 years old. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I'm the father of 2 young boys, a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old. Originally, felt like I was born into a privileged life up until the time that my father was killed in 1969. Went from being well-to-do to welfare. It was downhill from there, watching my mom cope with my father's loss with alcoholism and obsessive gambling. I first began abusing substances when I was probably like 12 years old. The progression of my drug use pretty much led all the way up. Once you do that heroin and you know what the feeling's like, you chase it from that point on. It just got to a point where one morning I just woke up and I was like, I don't want to die out here, and went to an AA meeting. You go from desperation to gratitude. When your first child's born, you always have the fear that he's going to end up, falling down the path of addiction. My oldest son, Scott, would ask a lot of questions. So you get fearful that when you're telling him these stories and you're being honest, that it may be glorified.
My father's past life affects me. I want to never do drugs, never smoke, never drink.
I knew that when my dad was removed from my life, I felt hopeless, I felt frightened. So I figured as long as I can keep the world lighter for him with the knowledge of where I've been and be honest with him when he got to that age, that things would be better.
My name is LaDanya Black. I am 31 years old and I live in Tuba City, Arizona. I have 2 children. Amanda's 8 years old and Naomi is 7 years old. I grew up on the Navajo reservation in Shanto, Arizona. I went to Northern Arizona University and I studied chemistry and minored in biology. I had big dreams. I met a person I thought that was going to be the right person for me. Ended up getting married and ended up becoming a victim of abuse. I really tried to shield my children from it, but they were more timid and more scared. They got more shy. As my oldest daughter entered into 1st and 2nd grade, I noticed she kind of got scared when she messed up. She always thought she would get in trouble or get yelled at or something. I wish I could have stopped it in time to where I could have left a long time ago. I don't hardly have a cent to my name.
My name is Leatrice Ford. I am 51 years old. I have 2 children, a son and a daughter, and I live in Washington, D.C. I was a single mom at the time. Alita was 13, Edgar was 19. That was his first year out of high school, and he was in college. My son got shot. He got shot and he became a quadriplegic, which of course was very devastating. It literally just shook the family. My depression affected the entire family. I would cry every morning, which is a big signal. I was a mess. I had been talking to some people, my doctor, about trying to find a therapists, and finally someone had recommended the one to me, and I knew I had a lot of work to do. I feel like my addressing this depression has also, of course, led to my having these two positive young people in my life. I don't think that I would be able to say today, had I not stepped up, raised my hand and said, hey, I need help. Can you help me, please?
The transformation of my career from where I've been to where I'm at now here at Phoenix House, I feel very honored to be able to do the things I do. I love working with addicts. It's my calling in life.
I've tried very hard to be a good mother, a single mother at that. It's been hard on them. They see my pain every day. They try to make me happy every day. They help me get through my pain.
I just feel so good about the difference addressing my depression has made. I feel so good that I go to see my psychologist on a weekly basis. When I wake up in the morning, I feel good about who I am.